And now, here's your host, Rod Harder, with another SMC Marketing Minute Profit Tip.
Welcome back to Marketing You Can Do Right Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rod Harder, and it's episode 117. Today, I want to do a quick marketing minute for you to sort of plant a seed so you can take off with the rest of your day with this thought in your mind. I want to talk to you about a term that I'm sure you're familiar with, the X factor. The term is used a lot. So what does that term mean to you from a business perspective? To me, the X factor means something mysterious, something that makes all the difference. You can't weigh it, you can't measure it, you can't see it, you can't even smell it. But when you come in contact with it, you know it. Every time I come across somebody who has this powerful quality, I recognize it. And I think you do too. It's that invisible quality. It's not that they have street smarts. It's not that they have some formal education. They have this burning, invisible desire that makes them want to go after it. It is the X factor of enthusiasm. Speaking of enthusiasm, when it comes to your marketing, you've got to have the X factor. Otherwise, your message will lay there lame like a cold fish out on the rocks. It goes much farther than business. If you don't have that X factor, you won't be as successful at anything you do. Sure, you may get by, but you won't be very successful at it. And more importantly, you won't be happy. You'll end up with a miserable existence. Sometimes all we need is a little wake-up call to check our own temperature, to see where we are in life. Hopefully, you're where you want to be. But to find out where you are, ask yourself a few questions. Do you have the X factor? It's where the enthusiasm is. It's where that motor is that runs your engine. For me personally, many years ago, after I retired from Delta Airlines, I went into the mortgage business. And all the time I was there, I was sensing that something wasn't quite right. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I had this feeling that I wasn't dialed in. I was doing okay, but something was clearly missing from my life and my career. I kept thinking, well, maybe this is just part of bringing in the bacon. I have a good job. I'm making nice money. This might be it. I thought, well, I have to make a living, and the mortgage business was, certainly taking care of that need. And then one day, a buddy of mine, while we were just having a conversation, he said, man, you're pretty good at selling mortgages. Imagine how successful you'd be if you really enjoyed it. And as we went our own way that day, his words kept resonating with me. I kept thinking, wow, he's right. My buddy's comments made a big difference on me. It had a profound effect. And then it hit me. I didn't have the X factor. And as the saying goes, you can't teach enthusiasm. You can't teach that excitement that you need. It's either there or it isn't. I never forgot what my friend told me. In fact, his little idle comments at the time continued to play out in my head like a broken record over and over and over. He'll never know the gift that he gave me that day when he made that observation, that casual comment. So, what's all this got to do with you? Well, in my opinion, plenty. Let's first talk about it from a marketing perspective. If you're not a good marketer, your message is never going to reach your intended audience. It's never going to make them make a decision. You're not going to have that persuasion that you need. Whether your message is in writing or it's in an audio or a video, you gotta have that X factor. And maybe you're one of the lucky ones. Maybe you've already found your X factor and you're deep into it. But if you haven't found it, don't worry. As my good buddy Vinny says, keep searching, keep searching. You'll know when you find it, because when you do, you'll walk around all day with a smile on your face like a Cheshire cat. Energy will flow out of you like a powerful geyser. You'll have better clarity. Your goals will happen almost automatically, and your ideas will pop out of your head one after the other. You'll start to live your life with purpose, on purpose, with a plan and direction. I'm not saying you're not. Maybe you're already there. And if you already are, you know where I'm coming from, because your thoughts are positive, you're progressive, your ideas are unlimited and powerful. Your self-image explodes with confidence. And if you do have that X factor, Congratulations, my friend. You're one of the lucky ones. Welcome to our little fraternity. Sadly, it's a place the vast majority of people will never know. Thankfully, I think you're different. After all, you're here, you're listening to this podcast, you're investing in yourself and your business, so that's a great sign. You're apparently very enthusiastic about life and your career, and you want to get better. It's a pretty cool place to be, isn't it? It's exciting to hop out of bed every morning with mind and body crisp, ready to kick into action. Thoughts are clear and you're energetic. Your brain is fully engaged, constantly revving like a high-performance engine. I love it personally. I almost feel like I'm cheating. That's the feeling you have when you have the X Factor. It's your sweet spot. If you don't have it, keep searching, keep waiting and looking. Be observant, because you never know when that opportunity is going to arrive. And if you're not paying attention, it may pass you by. I get enthusiastic every time I sit down and write a campaign for one of my clients, or when I sit down and consult with them on a private basis. I just love it. And if you're not there, if that's not what defines you in your career, I want you to keep working at it. But if you're one of the lucky ones, keep it up. Keep listening to this podcast and others. Keep investing in yourself because, as they say, school is never out for the pro. And there's one thing that I notice across the board. It's the people that I come in contact with on a regular basis who feel like they're too cool for school. And coincidentally, they're the ones who need it the most. Isn't it funny how it works out that way? Well, that's it. Make it a great day, and we'll talk soon. And if you keep this in your mind and the X Factor where it needs to be, implement the X Factor in your life, and you know what's going to happen. We will see you at the top. Take care. Bye-bye.